Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Parks and Tech. My name is Josh. I like beer and whiskey. I review things, a lot of things, and this is another segment of something. If you like things as much as I do, be sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you won't miss a day when I post a new video. Oh, and if you don't know about Rogue Energy, you should. It's seriously the best tasting energy drink I've ever had. They have a ton of different flavors and types. From drinks that keep you energized, to drinks that keep you hydrated, to drinks that just keep you cool. Be sure to check them out at rogueenergy.com and pick up a trial pack for about $16. That price includes 5 samples of your choosing and your choice of shaker as well. Don't forget to use my code PARKSandTech at checkout to save 10% off your entire order. You won't be disappointed. Today we are taking a look at a new trail camera from Campark. This is the T150 model, and it shoots 2K video at up to 30 frames per second and captures photos at up to 24 megapixels. It has a built-in solar panel and rechargeable battery. It can also take AA batteries as a backup. At the time of this video, it is on sale at campark.net for $129.99 US. Be sure to check the link in the description below. Let's take a quick look at the packaging. On top, we have some branding and the model. It is a solar-powered hunting camera that can be used for more than just that. Here we have a photo of the actual trail camera itself with the built-in solar panel unit. It is a very unique design. On this side, we just have some more branding and the model. Same thing on this side. On the back, we have some specs. It has an IP66 waterproof rating. It does have built-in Wi-Fi, which allows you to connect to the app wirelessly. It has a 65-foot or 25-meter triggering distance. It can capture up to 2K videos. It has a 0.1 second trigger speed, which is the fastest I've seen so far on a trail camera. It can capture up to 24 megapixel photos. On this side, we have some more branding and the model. Nothing on the bottom. And that brings us back to the front. This is everything you get in the box. Instruction manual. A micro USB cable for charging and data transfer if needed, a metal mounting plate, a metal mounting arm for attaching to the plate, screws and plugs for the plate mount, a mounting strap, and finally, the camera itself. Let's take a closer look at the camera. Here we have our built-in IR lights, the camera lens, the main motion sensor, and 2 side sensors. On the side, we have our clasps to open and close the camera and a spot to attach a lock if you want, for added security. On the back, we have our attachments for the strap and the tripod mount for the metal arm attachment. On this side, we have the hinges for the front cover, on the bottom we have the microphone. The top houses the built-in solar panel. This is a unique design and also acts as a roof for the camera lens. And that brings us back to the front. To open the camera, undo these 2 clasps. Inside, there's a before you start guide. We will go over everything in this video. Nothing on this side. This is the AA battery compartment. Keep in mind these are not required for the camera to operate, but are good just in case you would like to have a battery backup, which I do. This is the off, setup, and on switch. These are our navigational and main control buttons. We will go over what all these do. On the bottom is our micro SD card slot, micro USB charging slot, and a reset button. Nothing on this side. A speaker on this side. I use the Amazon Basics batteries and have never had an issue. Keep in mind these are not required for operation. For this review, I will be using this 64 gig micro SD card. I'll go on ahead and put a link in the description below if you'd like to pick one up. Insert the card face up into the camera. Push until you hear the click. To begin setup, switch to setup mode. It begins with a few settings. Use the navigational buttons and OK to select. These are all the languages this camera supports. This is where you can set your date and time. After those two settings, it takes you to the rest of the settings in the main menu. To get to these settings normally, switch to setup mode. Tap the top button once to get to the gallery. Tap the top button again to get to the main settings menu. Again, use the arrow buttons to navigate and the OK button to select. Here we can change the mode, video only, photo only, or both. I always select both. Here we can change the PIR interval. I would recommend keeping the default of 30 seconds. Here we can change the PIR sensitivity. I like mine on medium or high personally. It really all depends on your environment. You can capture a time lapse if you want. Loop recording can be turned on or off. Loop recording will write over the oldest file once the SD card is full. The IR LED settings can be changed. I would recommend setting this to auto. Low battery settings can be changed. You can set a specific time period when the camera operates if you want. Keeping this off will have it operate all the time, which is exactly what I want mine to do. Use the left and right arrows to switch between page settings. Pushing the right arrow will take you to the photo settings. Here you can set the photo resolution. We'll go over all of these a little bit later. Here you can set the number of photos it takes each time the camera is triggered. I like 5 personally. You can also change the shutter speed. I recommend leaving this on the default. Tap the right arrow to go to the video settings. These are all the different resolutions it can record in. I will leave mine on the max of 2K. Here you can set the length of the videos in seconds. I like 15 seconds personally. You can turn audio recording on or off. Tap the right arrow to go to more general settings. Here you can change the language if you need to, and these are all the languages you can choose from. You can reset all the settings back to default. You can format the SD card. I always recommend doing this before first use, even if your SD card is brand new. Time and date settings can be changed. You can check the status of your AA batteries. The time format can be changed. The date stamp can be toggled on or off. The beep sound on the menu can be toggled on or off. You can change the name of the camera if you want. A password to access the camera can be set. Bluetooth can be turned on or off. I would recommend leaving this on if you plan to access this camera through the app. The Wi-Fi network name can be changed. The Wi-Fi password can be changed. Auto Wi-Fi off intervals can be set. Auto power off intervals can be set. Backlight settings can be changed. This is the firmware version of the camera. And this is where you would go if you have a firmware file on your SD card. And that's all of the settings. Pressing the up arrow from the main screen will turn on and off the Wi-Fi. Pressing the left arrow from the main screen will change to photo mode. Pressing the right arrow from the main screen will change to video mode. Pressing the down arrow from the main screen will check the AA battery status. Pressing the OK button from the main screen will trigger the camera depending on what mode you're in. Now that the settings are all set, turn the camera off and make sure it's fully charged. You can use the included micro USB cable for charging. Make sure the internal battery is fully charged before mounting the camera. I used a power bank to charge mine and had no issues. This red light will turn green when fully charged. This did take a while, so don't panic. Once the camera is fully charged, it's time to mount it. One way is to use the included mounting plate, arm, and screws. This end of the arm will go into the tripod mount on the back of the camera. This end with the double nuts will go into the plate. Unscrew this nut. Place this end into the center of the plate and screw back on the nut you took off. Make sure this is as tight as you can make it. You may need some tools to be sure. Normally the tripod mount is on the bottom, but this camera, it is only on the back. You then can use these two thumb screws to adjust how you would like the mount to be set. Once you have the positioning you would like, tighten these thumb screws as tight as you can. Then, use the included screws and plugs to attach to your desired location. The other option for mounting is to use the included strap. It goes through this compartment on the back and gets wrapped around whatever you are mounting it to. This is what I use, and it is big enough to go around most tree trunks. Once you have the camera mounted to your desired location, I always like to double check my settings by switching to setup. Once those are set, it is time to switch the camera to on. If you plan on using the app, make sure you download the Game Camera Pro app. Open the app. Tap Turn on Bluetooth. You will want to connect to this camera's Bluetooth. Once connected, tap Turn on Wi-Fi. You can also rename the Bluetooth name to make it easier if you want. Tap Wi-Fi settings. Wait for the Wi-Fi network to appear. Tap on the T150 Wi-Fi network. Enter the password for the network. The default is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tap Connect. Make sure you allow this setting, or it will not work. Go back to the app. You should now be connected to the camera. Here, you can see all the vitals of the camera, including battery life, etc. Tap the gear icon to access the settings of the camera. These are all the same settings we set before. When going through these, I realized I didn't have the highest photo resolution set. These are all the resolutions you can choose from. I'm changing this to 24 megapixels, which is the highest. I will quickly show you the rest of the settings in the app. Tap this icon to access the gallery of the camera. Here you can download and view all the files the camera captured. Use this toggle to switch between photos and videos. Tapping this icon will switch the camera to photo mode. Tapping this icon will switch the camera to video mode. And that's the app for the T150. This is a very nice trail camera. First off, the camera is very nicely made and doesn't feel cheap. I really like the design of it, and I think they did an excellent job with the build quality. It has a very unique design with what I'm calling the built-in roof, and it does help keep the rain off the lens. The camera is pretty easy to set up and use. In the box you get everything you need minus the batteries, if you want to use those, but again, they're not required, and an SD card. It has a lot of mounting accessories, and with those, you can really put this just about anywhere. The overall quality of the images and videos is very good, very clear and crisp, both during the day and at night. The night vision is also very good, and it works as it should. There is a built-in microphone, and the audio quality is decent and what you would typically expect from a trail camera. The built-in Wi-Fi works, and I've been averaging about 80 feet away with my Galaxy S21 Ultra. I also tested it with my Pixel 5a and was able to get approximately 100 feet away before the Wi-Fi dropped out. Different phones seem to give you different results in terms of range. Range is also affected by environmental situations, walls, etc. The Wi-Fi is pretty easy to access and turn on through the app. You can download your photos and videos from the camera, and depending on your range, you might not even have to leave your house. So far, my experience with the solar panel has been great, and the camera has been just about at full battery for 3 weeks. This will vary depending on where you put your camera and how much direct sunlight it gets throughout the day. The more shade there is in your location, the worse it will be. My camera has been through heavy rains, hot temperatures, and more recently, cooler nights, and have had no operational issues to report. All things considered, this is an excellent trail camera for the price, and it's an even better deal when there's an added coupon online. This camera would be great for beginners or seasoned professionals and has a ton of different uses. Trail cameras aren't just for hunters anymore. Check the description below for the link to pick one up. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you found any of this content useful, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you won't miss a day when I post a new video. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.